How did you get into being in this prestigious position that you get to deal with it on a daily
I work for a company called MVP Collaborative, which is the agency of record, basically putting on the event. So it's an
They
amazing
force you to
event.
travel.
They don't. Well, they don't force me. And there's some great cities with some great people. You get to meet some great people like yourself.
Thank you.
But no, it's an awesome space. It's an awesome car. People are extremely interested in it. The quality of people actually coming out to look at a car that are really serious about getting into one of these cars is pretty amazing.
Yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah.
People can actually afford good cars.
Yeah, and I think it's a reasonable price car with its, the selling point is that it's an Audi. It's an Audi performance, Audi looks. It, you would never know it's a hybrid kind of within it, and it does both the hybrid.
Except for the
service
name, that was the only tip that they gave me the impression that maybe it might
Well,
be.
because you want to know that it is as well. But we have product specialists here. We have events that people come out that they enjoy an Oculus Rift experience, some different apps where they can also take apart the engine, bring some certain things into it. It's a full experience. It's a fun day, and ultimately, at the end of the day, hopefully you get to test drive a great car and go from there.
Yeah, you couldn't arrange for better weather if you tried. I mean, this is perfect for the day.
Well, there we go. We'll go
So Morgan's
enjoy.
going to be my guy today.
Yeah, let's go for it,
Good to
Todd.
meet you, Morgan.
Let's go find one.
You ready for your test drive?
Now, if it's red, does that mean I'm a Republican? And if it's blue, does that mean I'm a Democrat? How does that work?
Yes, I'll say yeah. Okay. Good one. Nice.
You are in D.C.
Yeah, I know. That's a classic. We have 4 different drive modes, Todd, that we can choose from in terms of mixing electric or just gas or gas electric or maybe having it kind of automatically decide. It's basically those 4 different modes.
Wow, that shows you what's going on behind you.
Yeah, I've got the camera there. I can turn that off.
Wow.
I go right here to my driver modes. We're in the most, the most performance mode. We've got all the gas and the electric, and it's charging. So that would be like the most performance. Let's go to the opposite end of the spectrum. Let's go all electric here. We'll start off with that mode. And we'll even make this right turn. Now let's listen to the electric.
How's it feel to be in D.C., by the way?
I love this.
Capitol's right down the street.
Love this town. Let's listen. What's it sound like? Let's listen to this. That's electric.
Yeah,
Here's my point.
Smooth, that acceleration.
My point. They could make this more quiet. 2 reasons they don't. Number 1, safety for pedestrians. If the car isn't heard, then the Europeans found this out 15 years ago. Priuses went over there. They went, hold on a minute, you got to make that thing make some noise. And so by law, all the electric cars can, and you hear it go. It's got a little noise. Actually, the engine came on that one because I went a little
good.
too hard onto it. So this.
So it's
is
electric to a point, right?
To a point. It will know when to kick that thing in.
Wow, this is fun.
So here we go. Listen to it. Nice and smooth. Normal, isn't it? Now, brake regeneration. 2 ways the battery can get charged: through when I apply the brakes, or obviously when I'm in this other, out of the opposite end from the electric mode is this charge battery mode, which is like the performance mode, the most of the engine and the most of the electric, and it's going to charge that battery when it's idling, and we can see that our 2-mile range there, if we left it in this mode long enough, that number would start climbing up and up and up to get even up over 20 miles of range that it's capable of. Now,
So in some ways, this is a better alternative than, say, a Tesla. Are you going up against Tesla, in a sense?
apples and oranges. Here's the deal. There's no anxiety with this vehicle like an all-electric vehicle. The minute anyone in an electric vehicle gets in there, they're like, all right, how far can I go? And
well, they better know.
They better know. That's absolutely. And even when they do know, and especially if they don't, there's anxiety.
Don't cross the desert without
You're just like,
a charging station.
Oh no, like, am I going to make it? Am I going to make it? Now,
sure.
even someone in a gasoline engine has that, although I realize cars are efficient and gas stations are everywhere. There's not a lot of anxiety with gas stations unless it's like, oh no, 50 miles to the next town and I'm on E. But gas electric, there's going to be the very least amount of anxiety.
So if your battery runs out, you can make it all the way to wherever you need to on the gas.
You never have to plug in. You can just go to a gas station, fill up, and while you're driving the car with the gas engine, you will be charging the battery.
Oh.
And realize that the battery and you don't want to think of it as like, I can go, 25 miles on an electric charge, or that I can go X amount on just the gasoline. The way to look at it is that when you combine the two, you have a 10-mile gas tank, or 10-gallon, about a 10.5 gallon gas tank, but you have a 400-mile range. So we're looking at about, those are good numbers, say 40 miles per gallon. And there's some go, well, my turbo, my diesel gets 46. And I go, hold on a minute. Can you go 10 miles to work, plug in 10 miles and come back and use nothing? So that's really, that 40 miles per gallon on a tank is an absolutely achievable, completely conservative number. That is almost, to be increased on if you were driving small amounts. And that's where I think we have to look at that, that big picture. They are going to come out with a figure, though, that's official, and I'm pretty sure it's going to be more than 40 per gallon.
So this is a real car as far as I'm concerned because it has a major feature which I require, and that's a sunroof.
Yeah, check out our sunroof with this. And Todd, it's got a really nice opening to it. Got a nice big opening, opens quickly.
This is a great car to drive to the beach.
On a beautiful day like this, that sunroof is nice. It's like a convertible. Turn, in the winter, open the convertible and turn your heater on. Keep your AC on, open that sunroof, enjoy.
So is there an American plant that our Audis are interacting with at all these days?
That's a good question. I think right now this car is from Germany, but I don't know if they're going to build an e-tron plant in the States.
So this car is, would you say it's meant for the Autobahn?
Absolutely, all Audis are. All Audis are great for the Autobahn. That's, one of the things I hear a lot is when people drive this, they go, I didn't expect it to be like other Audis, and it is.
Really?
I thought it would be like a hybrid. I thought it would be electric and be, like if you take a BMW i3, and BMW is supposed to be the ultimate driving machines. The i3 is not a typical BMW. It's got little brakes.
Oh yeah. It's cute. It's cute. Yeah, I don't expect it to be anything like a BMW.
It's nothing like the other BMWs. Yet Audi's hybrids, if you will, although we're going to call them e-trons in the future, Audi's cars are like the other Audis. It has the power to weight, figures. We could have made a bigger battery that would have had more range, for example. It would have weighed more than 3,600 pounds, and then it wouldn't feel like the other A3 that weighs 3,600 pounds. So this car in formula is like the other A3 that is less efficient, that's not an e-tron.
I see.
But it's got the performance that is equal to that because it's power, and it's got 258 torque, and it's got 3,600 pounds, which is the same numbers and formula as those.
Which is a good weight for a car, right?
Which makes it feel like the other Audis.
Safety factor too, right?
Absolutely, makes its performance. If a car is heavy, it doesn't like to go, stop, or turn as well. Hey, here's our best chance to test all the power. I'm going to get the gun aim, pull the trigger, and let's test it all the way to the floor.
Oh yeah, this is our new bridge, or actually new artwork on our bridge on New York Avenue.
That's pretty good pull right there, isn't it?
Yeah, I think we're going to just launch right up into the sky.
And I know the camera's being up here up there, so I just have
So we have those
really
here.
Impressive to see, and that's when I get people to do that. They're like, "Whoa, look, that's a zippy little."
That's
car.
a great way to get a speeding ticket.
I had a guy with a hybrid Lexus. He said, "Oh, this is way more powerful than my Lexus hybrid." He goes, "This is way faster." Very pleased to hear that.
Yeah.
He said, "Oh, this is much sportier."
Yeah, but we do have those red lights and or those. We have lots more of those lights now in DC. It's a great way to collect
great revenue.
Yes.
Someone told me that, like, in the first year of that light, it produced $3 million. Knock that.
Yeah.
Especially if they, this city is clean. It's nice. It's being fixed up.
I'm glad he thinks it's clean.
Well, it's not bad.
Yeah. You've seen worse. How about that?
Here's the deal. Here's what I will say, and it wasn't this nice 10 years ago.
Well, that's true.
It's better.
Yeah.
And it's because of those traffic cameras making all that income. No, I'm just kidding. Whatever.
But you're right. No, but there's been some revitalization going on in this community, especially.
You would not have come down here 10 years ago unless you were delivering or picking up food.
That's true. It's true. It was purely industrial. I like the hatch is a big seller too, right? Having a nice.
in this country aren't as into the Sportback or hatchbacks. Really glad that this comes in that hatchback. I know the A3, the other A3, people were wondering, what, can I get a hatchback?
So I'm going to guess that even though this is a hybrid and it's an Audi, it still costs about the same as a premium Audi would cost.
37 to 47 is what this price point is, which is real similar. It's a teeny bit more than the other A3.
Oh, it
than
is.
the regular A3.
Okay, the regular A3.
A little bit, but it's not way off. It's yeah.
So the body style though is it
Identical.
poppy? Yeah.
To
It looks
the
as
other,
though
yeah, so that's the thing going. Unless you see the e-tron in the back, you don't know it's an e-tron. Looks
Okay.
just like the other one.
Because you don't have it written on the side like this. This is for a promotion,
no, that's
right?
all promotion. Yeah, they would know.
Yeah, this is great.
So-
Well, it's nice to ride in a Republican car. I really appreciate that.
Thank
It
you.
feels just like I wonder if it feels like the blue car too. But you're a great driver. Thank you very much. What about the interiors? What other colors can you get besides this one?
Oh, there's all kinds of interiors. I wish we had the book, and certainly there's going to be more than red and blue.
Okay.
But there's going to be. I think there's a pamphlet in there that's going to have some of that stuff in there.
Well, I really appreciate Morgan. You're a great host, and I appreciate the opportunity. Hopefully, you enjoy DC.
My pleasure.
You
I do
know?
enjoy DC,
Especially when the weather's like this, right?
Glad to show off this car to everybody. We've really enjoyed seeing the response from everyone.
Everyone wants one.
Well, thanks for being a real Audi town. DC is absolutely one of the best Audi towns that I know of.
Oh, you mean in terms of sales?
Lots of them. I see lots of them. I know there's offices here. I absolutely see a high percentage of Audis in this town. So you guys are certainly onto the brand.
What
Thank
about
you.
the dealership ratio? Now, we don't have any new car dealerships in the city right now.
Yeah, that I don't know about, but you
But in
must
the
have
area.
you must have
Yeah.
a nice dealer network because I see so many of them here.
That's right. And they were all at the Longview Gallery the other day.
That's
So
right.
There's plenty of them there.
They did the training, and what a nice bunch of guys. I mean, they're really a great bunch of salesmen, the Audi guys.
Tell us where you're
compared to
from,
other
just in
brands.
closing. Tell us where you're from.
I
and
live in
how'd you get-
Steamboat Springs, Colorado. And
Which is a resort town?
it is a ski resort, and I went there to ski, and I went there actually to get away from my motorcycling that I was doing as a kid. That's how I got into this industry, from a motorcycle background. But as I then moved there, I got involved with this winter driving school that was started by a French rally champion. It was called the Jean-Paul Luc Winter Driving School. And it became now a Bridgestone school, and other brands have
Was that a
sponsored it.
French driver then, right?
He was a French rally champion for Citroën in the 70s. But through that driving school, we had other instructors come work with us. So then I got put in driver pool to work at Skip Barber and some other driving schools, like even Audis and BMW schools and Jaguar schools. And I love to do the driver instruction. That's my favorite. But I get involved with all kinds of automotive programs like this.
That sounds great. So
Yeah.
it's a fun way to travel.
Absolutely love to travel, and I love being around. Essentially, I need to be around wheels and motors. I knew that when I was 5 years old, and I've always been fortunate to be able to be around wheels and motors.
You're fortunate to know that so early.
Exactly.
You can actually make a living doing it.
I knew right away.
All right. You've been a pleasure to me, man. Thank you so much for the time.
All right.
I'm compelled now to consider. Can you put this on layaway for me, please?
Good experience?
Oh, yeah.
They're great cars, aren't they?
Of course. My first